let's take a look at the most popular Pokemon or most popular team members used in Ruby, Sapphire, and even Emerald. Let me know if any of these are accurate, and or if you've used any of them on your team. Be sure to comment down below the very first team you used to beat this game. But before we get into it, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. This is the third video in this series, and check out the last ones. And let's get into it. So in Hoenn, we have a region that is very diverse in preferences. It caters to a lot of people, typings, design-wise, all that kind of stuff, including the starter Pokemon. This trio of starters, along with even Gen 4, Gen 1 as well, you have a selection where you'd eventually want to play through the game using all three of them. So there isn't a bad pick here per se. It doesn't matter how good the mon is competitively, how, bad you think its design is. Everyone loves all three of them. But if I were to rank all three of these guys from least used to most used, it would probably be this. And it's not a surprise because Mudkip is the most popular starter Pokemon alongside Charmander and Froakie. So when you're stuck in this region, Swampert, Mudkip, Marshtomp is gonna be the majority option for everybody else. Swampert and Sceptile go hand in hand in my opinion. I've seen so many Sceptile users in this game. I used to be like that. I was a Sceptile fan before when I first played the game. But as I grew into it, I began to grow into Swampert a lot more. It was such a good Pokemon. It was the easiest Pokemon to use in this region because how it just countered everything in this game. Since you have a way easier time playing this game with Swampert than Sceptile, I think he wins it in my opinion in that battle. There isn't anything wrong with Blaziken. It's a very good Pokemon, but I think the thing that holds it back a little bit is how it doesn't really complement the game's style. A fire fighting type in a region where you have a rock type as your first gym leader, well, a rock gym leader. Flying gym leaders, you have gym leaders that use ground types with fire Pokemon, Camerupt, the Team Magma stuff. You have water gym leaders, Kyogre, Groudon's also a ground type. Every important battle in Hoenn, Swampert can handle like 90% of it, and it's actually insane. There isn't a grass gym leader. So that already just puts it above Sceptile and Blaziken in terms of good use in this game. And that's the only thing he's weak to. And there isn't a single grass important battle gym leader in Elite 4. Nothing. I always go off of the structure, a team where you have to have a flying type in there somewhere. And that was kind of the trend back in the day. Because HMs are a thing, you need a flying Pokemon. Catching Pokemon like Tailo, Swablu, what else you got? Skarmory, Tropius. Well, minus all those guys, but go back to Tailo for a bit. Early game, Route 1 bird. Okay, cool. Actually, it was more like Route 4 or Route 3 or Route 2 or something. I don't remember the routes in Hoenn that well, but I think it was universal how I'm pretty sure everybody playing this game for the first time used a Swallow on their team. Might be completely wrong, but for the very first playthrough that you did, you had a Swallow. And I would be very surprised if I'm wrong about that. Obviously, as you grow into the game of Pokemon and you get better at it, play the game over and over again, and you'd swap things out. So maybe you would have swapped out your Swallow for Altaria. Maybe you would have swapped out Swallow for Salamence. It could have been a lot different back in the day, or even today actually. But for me, catching a flying type was just mandatory. And there isn't a bad option in Altaria at all, or Salamence. Salamence is a pseudo, so it kind of has to be good, you know what I mean? Maybe in Pokemon Emerald, you swapped out your Swallow for Salamence because Emerald is a way harder game, so you'd want strong Pokemon to do more damage, all that kind of stuff. So I would stick with Swallow for the second Pokemon that is the most popular. Swampert, Swallow. So far, if you had those two Pokemon on your team, then I've locked it down pretty well. Not sure how I feel about this third Pokemon, as it can be a pain to catch, especially early game, but since there aren't any good equivalents to this Pokemon, I'm gonna have to select it, and it's gonna be Gardevoir. The route west of Oldale Town, you can catch your first routes, and it'll only have Teleport and Growl. If you're playing this game for the first time, I don't think you would have used it like that. So I think over time, the percentage in usage of Gardevoir went up like crazy because of how good it is in game. Very good coverage mon. It can do a lot of things. Even though it's a glass cannon, it can still do lots of damage. Design wise, the media loves this Pokemon, don't ask me why. But universally, unanimously, whatever you want to call it, this thing is used legit everywhere. Some honorable mentions for, well, not in typing per se, but I had 2 fire types, and just a heads up, I do not have any fire types on this list. Kind of weird, I know, but for me, the fire types in Hoenn, they are kind of like, they're a bit niche. I don't know what it is. I know Numel is, it's introduced in this region, so maybe that could be a reason why people use Camerupt a lot. Camerupt and Sharpedo are like counterparts, but I had Ninetales and Camerupt as my honorable mentions. I didn't want to add them because I think people just didn't really care about Ninetales too much. Camerupt maybe, especially after he got a Mega, then definitely an Oras, but this is Ruby and Sapphire. So I won't include Ninetales or Camerupt in this list, or even Torkoal, because I don't think Torkoal, even though it is I don't know how good Torkoal is. How good is Torkoal? Someone let me know in the comments. But I mean, yeah, so I will say this. I don't think fire types were commonly used in Hoenn. Only if you had Blaziken, then that's an exception. When I played this game for the first time, I used Hariyama a lot, and even Machoke, because I couldn't get Machamp. I had no one to trade with, so that was just never gonna happen. Shroomish. Grass fighting type. Well, Breloom, grass fighting. It's a very bad typing. I don't think that's a typing you'd want to have on your team. It's one of those mons where it's good to have for like causing status. So I'm straight up going off of like first playthrough basis, okay? If you didn't realize Breloom was good or not good, it didn't matter. You probably use a Shroomish no matter what. And obviously, as a kid, you don't really know what you're doing the first time you play a Pokemon game, so you just go with the flow. Breloom will be locked in. Hariyama, a very good second choice, or Machoke. And then down in Granite Cave, Aron. Now, this is kind of weird because all the Pokemon I've listed so far, they are all very close together. The route west of Oildale Town, you got Ralts. Then west of Petalburg, again, you got Talo. Then north to the woods, you got Shroomish. Go up, beat the gym, go back down to Dewford, and in the cave, Aron. That's 4 Pokemon in the span of 1 gym badge. Realistically, you probably wouldn't do that anymore. As a kid, you definitely would. Now, you're not gonna catch 4 Pokemon within 1 gym badge. That's like bad experience sharing in general. But Aggron itself is a very good Pokemon. It can take hits. It's a very good counter for Rayquaza if you want to go Skypillar already. Out of every Mon you have on your team so far, in this list anyway, that's your only bulky Pokemon. So very close second options in Hariyama, Machoke, Camerupt, Ninetales, Sharpedo. So that leads to the final Pokemon, the 6th member. It's so tough because this Mon is loved by everybody. You start that one route where it's like an L shape, you go up and left, but then you go right after beating Flannery, you get the Go Goggles, and then you can go to the Sandstorm route. You got Sandshoes in there, you got Trapinches in there. Between Flygon and Manectric, out of those two, which one do you think is more commonly used? So I definitely would have used Flygon, and I know it's kind of weird. You've already got Swampert. Why would you use a Flygon? That's 2 ground types. Okay? If you don't care about that, you don't care about that. It's all preference. But it comes to a point where if they're both the same typing and they're solo, then that doesn't make any sense. But a water ground and a dragon ground or ground dragon type, I think that's fine, honestly. So remember, think back to the first time you beat Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald. What was that first team you used to beat the game with? Here's a list of Pokemon that were very, very close in making this list. Shiftry, Azumarill, Sharpedo, Camerupt, Ninetales, Altaria, Salamence, Raichu, Manectric, Vileplume, and even Magneton. Comment down below your full team, and we'll go from there. See y'all next time. Peace.
Sunshine when it's raining, breathe out and he takes it. Oh no, when you taste it, poison, that's all you wanna do is destroy us.